everybody, and welcome back to Dice Checks. It's been a while, but we have something fun in plan today. Morvar, what do we have in store for them today? Give you a hint. It might be a brand new book!
Oh my god!
Woo! Yeah, today we're going to be talking about Xanathar's Guide to Everything, which is actually my new favorite. So, sit back and roll initiative, because we're going to get straight into it. Sit back and roll initiative because we're about to get into it. Alright, so this is Xanathar's Guide to Everything. It recently came out this month. I adore this so far. You and me were talking about it beforehand, and we both agreed that this is like a legit DLC for gamers.
Yeah, it's D&D 5th edition 0.5.
Yeah, it's nothing but new stuff, new options, and new abilities. So, let's get into it. First of all, let's actually get the good picture going. This is Xanathar the Beholder with his favorite goldfish. Would you like to read the disclaimer?
Yes, let's indulge.
There you go.
Okay, disclaimer. No goldfish were harmed in the making of this book, especially not Sigler. This is Sigler. This is Sigler, right?
The fish.
The fish.
It's the fish.
The fish. Especially not Sigler. Especially not him. Sigler definitely did not die because we did not forget to change his water. If you see Xanathar, make sure that he knows that.
Yeah, look him in the eyes.
And the multiple.
Yeah, just bam, bam, like connect the dots, just 1 to 1 to 1 to 1.
That's
but yeah,
flub if I ever saw
I
that.
love that. But this stuff is awesome. It has a ton of new subclasses as the first opening part, and it's got it. Usually the average is 2 or 3 per class. Wizards got the low end, but they got a really cool one. So, let's hit some favorites.
Can I show something kind of funny here?
Sure.
The alternate cover for this has 2 goldfish and beholder eyes.
Oh yeah, it sure does. It's like a little yin and yang thing.
I don't know if you guys can see that, but
we can blow it up in post.
yeah, I'll show the.
Yeah.
All right. So.
All right. Let's just pick one from each and kind of talk about that, I guess. All right. So yeah, we have our new options, and obviously Barbarian is first. Barbarian's got the Zealot, the Storm Herald, and the Ancestral Guardian. I know Zealots are even harder to kill Barbarians.
Mm-hmm.
I think they have an ability, and I kind of looked into this one. I've been skipping around like mad since I got this. If I remember right, those Zealots have an ability that they can't die until their rage ends, which is like, oh my gosh. Storm Heralds are cool because they can actually have a whirlwind of energy surrounding them. I am the storm. Perfect for your Thor characters.
Yeah.
And Ancestral Guardians are cool because you get these spirit fighters to help you out. But the favorite thing I love, and each class got this, is that each class now has roleplay charts added to it. Barbarians have their personal totems, their tattoo charts, and their superstition charts. And you can pick from these, make up your own roll randomly to get things. Like if superstitions, when you walk through a graveyard, be sure to wear silver or a ghost might jump into your body. That's an excellent roleplay item for a barbarian. This, big bulking monster who's trembling in graves.
What are some of the other roleplay things that we can show off here?
Oh, there's a bunch of stuff. Do you want to skip right to it, or do you want to go through the other classes?
Let's go right into it because I'm sure.
Okay. There's some really cool stuff though. How about we just say the names then? All right. Let's see that. Bard's got College of Glamour, Swords and Whispers. Cleric's got Forge and Grave Temples. Druid has Dreamwalker and Circle of the Shepherd. Or Circle of the Dreams, excuse me.
Dreamwalker!
Fighter's got Samurai, my personal favorite. Cavalier and Arcane Archer. Then we have monks have Drunken Master, Kinsei, and Sun Soul.
Finally, they added Drunken Master.
Telling you, right? Paladins have Oath of Conquest and Oath of Redemption, which is actually very funny, dark and white. Rangers have Horizon Walker, Monster Slayer, and Gloom Stalker. Pretty much a ninja. Seriously, Rogue Ninja. Then we have Oopsie, I skipped the rogues. Rogues actually have the most subclass options, which are Swashbuckler, Mastermind, Inquisitive, and Scout. Scout also looks very fun. Sorcerers get Divine Soul, Storm, and Shadow. Then we have good old Warlocks, which get the Celestial and the Hexblade. So, old fans of the Hexblade, it's back.
Yeah.
And then Wizards wrap up with the War Mage, which is a combination of Evocation and Abjuration. So it's literally pretty much a riot wizard. Like, they're on the front lines shooting fireballs and shielding. So pretty badass. So this is what Morvar just absolutely adores, is this other roleplay options. This is your life. You get to choose all kinds of charts for origins, like you can personalize your parents from charts. You have your siblings, your number of siblings, your lifestyle when you're as a family. Or, you know, you can go with the common conception that all adventurers are orphans. But this is what my personal favorite is in all this. It's the, I did this because. For their backgrounds, I became a noble because, and you can choose from one of these numbers or pick one. Or come up with your own. I became a noble because I hope to increase my family's power and influence.
Random tables galore,
Yeah.
ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, if you're a fan of random tables, this will give you a Jimmy. But this is awesome. They're not the most creative ideas.
Okay.
You okay?
I'm sorry.
You laughing at my Jimmy? That's how you break them, is you just tell a dick joke.
It's the easiest form of comedy to make me
Dicks.
just like.
I rest my
Alright,
case.
anyway.
I rest my case.
I'm not leaving that in.
But they're not the most creative of charts, but that's not the point. It's to inspire the idea. I would never have thought about asking some of my players, I became a monk because. I might ask them, why are you a monk? But it's this whole new step way of creativity when it comes to the players.
It's like a whole new layer to add into your character.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes it a lot more easy for say people that are new to the role-playing hobby and all that sort of junk to really get in and start role-playing. Like,
Yeah, as a gamer, this fits so perfectly with the mindset of a gamer.
Yeah.
Because it's choosing from selections for just like gaming character customization.
Yeah.
So this is just such a natural segue into gaming to D&D now. It was already a pretty natural segue, but even now the most novice role player has just such a smooth transition. It's unbelievable. It has all kinds of stuff. It has life events before you became an adventurer. What kind of tragedies happened? Crimes, wars, punishments, boons, adventures, all kinds of stuff that happened before you even became an adventurer that defines the level 0, as I call it.
Yeah.
Which is just, again, phenomenal. Because this also gives a DM cool tool of a level 0 session. You pull in like individual people or all of them, and you role play their startup. Because now you have a list of what happens. That's such an amazing starting up for people if they're like, I don't know if I'm going to be interested. Well, do a level 0 run.
And like I was gonna say, this especially makes it easy for me because whenever like I actually play in a game and I'm not DMing, I find it very difficult to really get into my character. Stuff like this really fucking helps.
Yeah, it's a script.
Yeah.
It's word for almost exactly a script. But this stuff isn't just fluff and roleplay. It also actually has some really cool stuff for the players and the DMs mechanically, such as new feats for the players, which are racial bound. For example, Wood Elves get Wood Elf magic, which is they learn Long Strider and Pass Without a Trace spells.
Oh.
They can use once without expending a spell slot. They get cool stuff. Half Elves get Prodigy. They gain 1 skill proficiency, 1 tool proficiency, and 1 language fluency.
So a lot of really cool extra feats.
Yeah, and your DMs could give you these for just being that race, or you can choose from them as normal. That's a lot of DM choice.
Oh, this for a DM is like the perfect.
Oh yeah, clearly the Dungeon Master's tools.
Yeah, the perfect Christmas present for any of your DM friends.
So the original books did go into some rules very deeply. Some of them you had to kind of ad-lib, audible, or just call spot by spot. Now you have a basis for a lot of these, like falling. My players and me always argued on how much they could fall in 6 seconds,
Yeah.
the average turn being about 6 seconds. And this says that, according to the rules, when you fall from a great height, you instantly descend up to 500 feet. That's fast!
That's fast and realistic.
But, and every turn you descend 500 feet.
Mhm.
So now you have a guideline. And because you know how much they fall, that means you can also calculate damage. Because you know it's a d6 per 10 feet.
Mhm.
So d6 times 500. Oh my gosh.
And it makes sense because, I mean, like, how fast do you think you would fall if you're wearing, like, you know, steel armor and, like, you know, a whole bunch of, like, extra equipment?
Yeah, it's like the marble and the bowling ball.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Like,
But it also has stuff for sleeping. Like, what are the actual consequences for sleeping in all that steel armor?
yeah,
It has those. It has
which I'm so bad at.
proficiencies and checks for tying knots now and how to break them, which is really cool. It has it gets into the actual tool proficiencies like carpenter's kit and brewer's kit, blacksmithing kit. What's really cool is they added a new feature, or at least an optional feature of you can make it so if they have the proficiency in the toolkit and the check that entails with it. I like to use thieves' tools as an example because every single time I've said make a sleight of hand check, it's always a sleight of hand check for thieves' tools. There's rarely, if ever, another check I use for thieves' tools using them. So if you're proficient in sleight of hand and thieves' tools, automatic advantage. It's really cool though. It also breaks down what's in them, bonuses that apply for knowing how to use them. Just some really cool stuff. We skipped around to it, but druids even have a chart now that tells them at level 1, because of where their environment, like if they started off in a forest, what animals they automatically know how to transform into. You don't have to ask anymore, do I know how to transform into a baboon?
Yeah.
You have a chart. You can find out. Bam! It's awesome. And this made me cry a little. Like, I heard like Heavenly Choir when I read this. It has a monster chart for challenge rating comparisons. It tells me for 6 character party at this level, this is the appropriate CR rating. It has one for 6, 5, and 4 party.
The calculation aspect of it is completely gone.
For those who don't know, the monster manual is calculated for a typical average party of 4, I believe.
I think it's like 4 level something.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So if you're like me or somebody worse who has 6 to 8 players, you have to skew that out automatically. It's automatically out of date. So you have to boost everything. Now you know what challenge rating is appropriate. What's even better is this works really good in conjunction with the monster manual because it has charts for boosting the CR of creatures.
Right.
So if I want a hobgoblin, but I want a very powerful hobgoblin, I can work with this to find the appropriate challenge rating, then go to the monster manual and raise the stats according to that challenge rating.
Yeah.
That is amazing. That makes all of this just unnecessary. No brain power needed. It has more charts. It has quick matchups if you just want to throw something really fast. Like if they're in an Arctic environment, I roll a 66, they're fighting 2d4, young rimmerasses. Oh, that's a sucky encounter. They're going to fight a lot of cool stuff. There's no more of this. You fight.
Let me look it up.
No, it's literally just. Okay, you're fighting an Indomitable Yeti. Bam, done. You pull out a good map for it that's appropriate because if you did your prep right, you should have something in the area.
Yeah.
And then, boom, it is good to go. I'm hyped because, like I said, I love this stuff. This is all charts for environment matchups. Then we have an entire segment for making traps and examples of traps. They talk about the Indiana Jones boulder, which is also a very fun portal trap for those who have played the game. It's a boulder that rolls down into a portal that brings it back on top. But every turn, it speeds up because of the slope and acceleration. So every turn, it adds a d10 to the damage. That's a phenomenally simple and deadly trap.
Yeah. And it could really stress out the players.
And let's be honest, everybody loves Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
So they're going to be like, oh, that's cool. Oh, it's coming right at me. Dun, 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 dun.
We're about to become a stain.
Yeah. It has entire revisions for downtime,
Mhm.
which is just amazing. Because downtime is always a challenge because there's almost too much freedom for a lot of players. Like, they don't know what to do because they don't know what they can do. Now you have ideas. You could probably give the players this, and it's like, all right, out of this list, what do you want to do? Do you want to go carousing, just goof off? Do you want to go purchase magic items? Do you want to make magic items? Maybe you want to check this out. You can actually train and actually boost proficiency, and it has charts for that. It also has complications for all of these. Like if you're training, your instructor disappears, forcing you to spend 1 work week finding a new one. Yeah, it has complications for all of this downtime. It has charts for awarding magic items by challenge rating, by level. And it has level 1 magic items, which I call derp items. Because these are just meant for a fun, flavorful encounter. Like, they're not meant to break the game or add new features, for the most part. Like the
Helm of Dread.
Armor of Gleaming, which it can be any medium or heavy item, and this armor never gets dirty. That's it. That's a perfect level 1 reward for doing something cool. Because it's a magic item, never gets dirty. There's all kinds of stuff. There's the cast-off armor, which is pretty much the stripper pants. Just as an action, you can take off this armor. There are a couple of really useful ones if you have a creative player, like the Boots of False Tracks, which is you can train your footprints to be any other humanoids, which is really useful if you think about it. There's all kinds of good stuff. There's more item charts from the other stuff. There's item charts for this stuff. There's a butt ton of new spells. If you've been keeping up with this at all, you've heard a couple of them, like Instant Fortress is the new 8th level spell they brought out.
Yeah.
It literally is a pocket fortress that you just, ha!
Ridiculous.
It's an upgraded Magnificent Mansion, is what it is, in all seriousness. It's just big time, pocket, wherever you want to live. There's all kinds of cantrips, first level spells. Some really good ones, too. Look, there's Mighty Fortress. Check this out. 9th level, Invulnerability. You are immune to all damage until the spell ends. Sounds busted, right?
Yeah.
But check this out. It takes 500 gold to cast, and it's a concentration. So you can't use another concentration while you're invincible.
That makes sense.
So it's broken, but not busted.
Yeah. It's not game breaking.
Yeah, because you have to give it up if you want to do something big. Like, another concentration. Like, oh wait, no. You can cast Mighty Fortress. It's not a concentration.
Wow. Okay, so...
Mass Polymorph. More of our Mass Polymorph.
So
all the bunnies.
We spent a lot of time talking about the pros of this book. What are some of the cons?
Oh, it's a lot of charts. And that could be intimidating to a lot of people. There are a lot of charts. Like, look at this page. This is, DMs would love this. Players would freak out about this. This is a naming chart list. And it's names by elven names, by age, like elf child, elf female adult, stuff like that. It goes all the way to human actual, locations, like French male, French female, German female names.
I'm so thankful.
Which is awesome, but people who don't like charts will freak out. And you actually made a good point when we were talking about this prior, is that there is a chance that this actually takes away freedom if it's done improperly. Yeah. Did you want to go back on that point?
In a way, it makes it has a possibility of making the game feel a little bit more linear than it's intended to be. Now, I mean, players will be the most creative forces on this
Yeah,
planet.
they make the world go round.
Yeah. But these charts are awesome. They are awesome. But it can be a massive double-edged sword if you're not careful.
Yeah. Which is why I think we hit the nail on the head when we categorized this as DLC.
Yeah.
This is not necessary, nor will it ever be necessary. But it's I think it's a welcome addition to anybody's game.
As do I.
I would completely recommend this. What about you?
I warmly, with all my heart, recommend this.
Totally. So yeah, if you ever want to know, this is Xanathar's Guide to Everything, and it is awesome. I guess that's it, huh?
Yep.
Alright, guys. Thank you so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed it as well, make sure to like, share, subscribe, or comment. Let us know if you've gotten a chance to try this thing out and what you think. There's a ton of cool stuff that is all kinds of ways we can discuss this. I'm curious to know how many people came up with use for Mighty Fortress.
Yeah.
Maybe they Wizard of Oz did on somebody.
Yeah, that would be one.
I'd have to check. I don't know if you can actually get away with that. But yeah, so this has been us. I'm Zen. Have a day by me. Morvar, take us home.
Later, guys. And we're out.
That was fun.